Rugby Park, or more recently known as the BBSP Stadium Rugby Park for sponsorship reasons, is a football stadium located in Kilmarnock, Scotland, and is currently the home of Scottish Premiership side Kilmarnock FC. Before Kilmarnock moved to Rugby Park, the club played at three other sites, as the club played at the Grange, Holme Quarry, and Wards Park before moving to the original site of Rugby Park in December 1877. The original Rugby Park was named as such in November 1872 and was located on Dundonald Road. Kilmarnock played there from 1877 to 1899, then moved to what would be described as New Rugby Park. The current location of Rugby Park was chosen by Ross Quigley, Kilmarnock's director at the time and their first ever director. The original ground before the move hosted both rugby and cricket, which is where the name Rugby Park came from, and the name was taken to the new stadium in the 1899 move. The ground was originally constructed with a running track around the edge of the pitch, a pavilion, and a stand along the west side of the pitch. The layout itself was quite similar to Ibrox at the time, which opened 4 months after Rugby Park. The ground first welcomed fans in a match against Celtic on the 26th of August 1899. In this match, Kilmarnock came back from a 2-0 deficit to manage a draw against the then champions. This match was also the very first top-tier match for Kilmarnock, as they had won promotion from the second division the year before. The new Rugby Park had the pitch moved southwestward, and then a new grandstand was built after being designed by football stadium architect Archibald Leach, but delays to the construction of the ground came from joinery workers' strikes, so it was not finished by the first match. This grandstand was later extended in 1914. By 1935, a cover was added to the south terrace, and by the Second World War, the ground was used for an ammunition dump by the Army due to the league play being suspended. Post-Second World War, the club was eventually given compensation for the use of their ground, and for any damages that the War Department might have caused. The pitch needed to be totally reconstructed after the war, and Italian prisoners of war were used to rebuild and extend the North Terrace. By 1953, floodlights were added and operational at Rugby Park, and officially opened in a friendly match between Kilmarnock and Manchester United on the 28th of October 1953, in which Manchester United won 3-0. By 1959, a roof was added to the East Terrace of Rugby Park, and by the 1960-61 season, the West Stand was renovated as well. The expanded grandstand had space to hold 4,000 spectators. The following season witnessed a record high attendance, as 35,995 fans were witness to a 4-2 Kilmarnock loss to Rangers in the Scottish Cup. But things did change for the better for Kilmarnock fans, as the team won the league championship in the 1964-65 season. The last big change before the 90s occurred in 1968, as the club upgraded the floodlight system to better accommodate live broadcasts. By the early 90s, the Taylor Report and other pressures resulted in a reality that faced all stadiums of this level in the United Kingdom at the time, as it meant that Rugby Park would need to become an all-seater stadium. There was internal debates as to what this would look like, including a rejected bid to move to a new stadium. This resulted in the need to make a plan to redevelop Rugby Park. The last match played before these redevelopments at Rugby Park was the 7th of May 1994, in which Kilmarnock beat Rangers 1-0. And then the turnaround was short, as the construction commenced the very next day. As a result of construction at the ground, the attendance during the 1994-95 season was significantly reduced, as 3 new stands were being constructed. The stands were the Moffat Stand, the Chadwick Stand, and the East Stand. The work was completed after just 348 days, and in a match on the 20th of April, the stands were first opened versus Rangers. However, Rugby Park officially reopened on the 6th of August 1995 in a friendly match versus English champions Blackburn Rovers, which ended 5-0 and resulted in an Alan Shearer hat-trick. After the renovations, the stadium capacity sat at 18,128. On the 12th of May 1998, Rugby Park had hosted its last Ayrshire Cup finals, as Kilmarnock was able to beat Ayr United 4-2. And by the summer of 1999, league regulations required Kilmarnock to install undersoil heating. 1999 was also significant, as it was the 100-year anniversary of Rugby Park, and the 100-year celebration came over a victory of KR Reykjavik in their UEFA Cup. Since this development, what surrounds the stadium has also changed, as in 2002, the Park Hotel opened adjacent to the stadium and was built on the previous site of Kilmarnock's training pitch. And in 2004, a sports bar opened up within the West Stand, which was sponsored by Foster's Lager. In 2014, Rugby Park replaced its natural grass pitch with an artificial surface. And in 2014, the stadium hosted a Rugby Union International match between Scotland and Tonga in November. And it was the first Rugby Union International match to be played on artificial turf in Scotland. 2019 saw a very big addition, as in February of 2019, Kilmarnock received the approval for a new safe standing section in the areas of the East and Moffat stands, and was completed by early December 2019. 2020 saw plans to create a new entrance, changing facilities, and community resources, which included a memorial garden. And by 2021, Kilmarnock started a renovation on the Moffat stand, which added offices to the back of the stand, and they also upgraded the grounds to be more accessible. Fall of 2021 saw the opening of the Killy Superstore, which is located in the main stand. And April of 2022 saw the opening of the Killy Museum, which sits adjacent to the Superstore. On the 13th of November 2023, Kilmarnock announced that they'd like to revert back to a natural grass pitch at Rugby Park for the start of the 2025-2026 season, which is significant as the club has been using an artificial turf for a decade now, and even installed a new surface back in the 2019-2020 season. Rugby Park, in its current iteration, currently has 4 stands. The East Stand, which has a capacity of 4,605, the Main Stand, which has a capacity of 3,724, the Moffat Stand, which has a capacity of 2,809, and the Chadwick Stand, with a capacity of 4,468, which results in Rugby Park having a total capacity of 15,003. While Kilmarnock FC have been the only team to call Rugby Park home, this also includes Kilmarnock FC's women's team as well. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found the video to be interesting and enjoyable. If you liked it, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you all have a great day.